So is the Hype House about to be screwed? Is the Hype House about to lose a lot of money and not be able to have a house anymore?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
So here's my future. I just realized it's kind of hard to understand me, but like, just know that nothing in the situation is black and white. So don't like prejudge anyone for anything, because I feel like I went kind of really one-sided. But like, speaking of that, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And go back to me in the past. So the Hype House has been, in a little trouble, a lot of drama, a lot of unnecessary things that are going on in this quarantine, but it still gets us a little entertained here and there. So yeah, let's talk about it. Recently, Daisy Keach, I can't say her name. You can tell that I suck at names. She felt like that someone, is tearing away from her business, and that is this guy. I wasn't going to make an opinion yet just by what she said, so I went on to his explanation of what happened, and it's a little weird. Very, very, what would we call in the business world, sketchy. So let's start from the very beginning. Daisy and Thomas were former members of the famous, YouTube first content house, Team 10, run by, that great guy, the Lord and Savior of all of YouTube, Jake Paul. But Thomas was a photographer for the team, and Jake Paul let him go. And I think at the time Daisy already left for other reasons, but whatever, that's not the point. So during that time, she said that they got friends, they were talking about the feelings, talking about the meaning of life, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They got close. He was a photographer, and they both did seem that he did do some work for her, yada, 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 to the day that little Huddy, whatever the fuck his name is, and Thomas go up to her and like, hey man, we want to make a house, and that house will be the hypest thing in this world. So for my understanding, it was like 46 grand for them to get the security deposit in the house, and Daisy came in and put 18 grand of her money into the security deposit to make this thing, actually be real. Let's fast forward. Both of them really like everything in the beginning.
Like
was
this.
Cool,
This
nice,
is
blah,
cute.
blah, blah. But from seeing both sides, like I seen both of their videos, Thomas was probably micromanaging.
The only one with full control over that. A trend that I'm starting to notice is he loves to have power. He loves to be able to tell people what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. It's starting to feel like a fucking dictatorship in this house.
Over the next few weeks after the New York Times, I had started to notice Daisy's less and less involvement in things Hype House related. I noticed that after our big team photo shoot, we all posted on Christmas, trying to be like a family photo. We wanted to share what the Hype House was, and I noticed that the only person that didn't post was Daisy, which kind of set up a red flag for me, like, okay.
He forced them to post 3 to 4 times a day. Whatever, I get it. You gotta pay rent, you gotta do this, blah, blah, blah. You need to get to work. I understand. And he started to feel a little bit of resentment. Resentment for what? What it looks like, and I do agree with Thomas, it looks like that she was a very absent, a very distant business partner. With their two mindset, absentee owner, and then a micromanager owner, things are gonna clash. Things are gonna get a little butting heads. So then Daisy noticed that she was getting cut out of a lot of these interviews and not being told what was actually going on around the house.
And I walk in and there's this huge music video production. Me being on the lease, you would think he would have to get my permission, or at least bring it up to me.
If she was not aware that the music video was happening in our house, then how did she respond in the group chat where I said Little Mosey wants to do a music video and talked about when we were gonna do it? She said, are we going to be paid? She claims to not know that this music video is even happening.
Like, he tried to show, I guess, receipts, proof that she knew everything was going on. But if you look at those texts, it kind of proves Daisy's point that she kind of let her out of the loop, because like if you look at the text, that is not a statement. He's asking, hey, music video, what do you think? Should we do it? That's not saying, that's not a, oh, we're gonna have a music video, be ready. Okay, so another point that I find kind of a little interesting, a little haha, a little hee hee, a little flag that I get.
Sketchy shit. He wouldn't give access to any of the emails. There was no transparency at all. We had no idea what brand deals were coming, if they were actually just a product for exposure collaboration, and we had no idea if they were paid or not.
Admitted to wanting to have her lawyer/manager be involved in all of the emails, as well as when he told me specifically he wanted access so that he could use that email to bring Daisy deals. He told me that. I realized what was going on, and this was very suspicious to not only me, everyone around me that knew the situation started to get a lot of red flags toward Daisy and her lawyer. I refused to give Daisy access to the email.
Thomas admits that he didn't give the email password to Daisy, which is really weird. Like, why don't you just give the password? And he gave a really like weird excuse, like, oh, I don't trust you, I don't trust your lawyer, blah blah blah. Like, that doesn't mean anything. You have to give. You don't have. Clearly, he didn't have to because he didn't give her. He can't really do that. She's not his employee. Like, she's in your team. Like, you can't just shut her out like that. But you know, she invested money into this. She needs to know what's going on. It's a little head scratcher. You just go, what's in the emails? What's going on? I'm not gonna make any predictions. I'm gonna leave that for later. But it seems that I think no one knows how much money they're actually getting from these brand deals. And someone, I'm not going to say who, is probably getting the bigger cut than anyone else. Who said that? I don't know. This is this is just what I think that might be going on. I'm not saying it is going on. I just think there's some sketchiness in the emails that he doesn't really want people to see. Thomas also said that, which I think which is really weird. I think this is the weirdest part of the story, is that Daisy, you know, confronted Thomas about, you know, hey, I'm this, I'm that, blah blah blah. Like, I'm a co-owner, I'm a co-founder. You know, I put money into this. And then Tom was like, what? No, like, the money you put for the security deposit has nothing to do with the business of Hype House. What? Is he serious? That's not how business works.
I confronted him about that. I also confronted him about my percentages. He was trying to tell me that the $18K that I put down for this business was just so a bunch of friends could live together. It has nothing to do with the Hype House.
At this point in her video, Daisy keeps bringing up that she had put down money and she put down part of the security deposit to live here and she paid for some of the rent up front. She keeps bringing up this money that me, her, and Chase put in. Chase and I understood every penny that we spent went towards the security deposit and the rent and the fees to rent this house. $0 of that went towards the Hype House, $0 of that went towards our business, and is not an investment into the Hype House.
So he said pretty much getting anything for that, like getting the actual house, you know, to do the content in the house where most of the business is being made in that house, has nothing to do with the business. That doesn't really make sense. Toot my horn, I am a business owner. I'm poor. I make no money. I don't know what I'm doing in business, but pretty much there's a little category in everyone's, you know, accounting books, everyone's books, and it's called assets. That house is considered an asset to the business. So, in all definition, her paying that money to get a security deposit is officially, in all business world, that is a business expense, a business investment. They make a lot of content in the house. They do business deals in the house. So her investment is part of the business. Thomas said there's no contracts. No one in the house has contracts. That's if anyone knows anything about business, a no-no. Everything needs to be in writing.
Starting it was that I didn't want to do contracts. I didn't want to take a percentage of anybody. I just wanted to be around the people that I love the most and to have the best friend vibe we could so that it felt very real off and on camera.
Why do you think? Why does everything have to be in writing? If there's no contracts, technically, there's no obligation to pay you anything. You see what I'm saying here? That's a little shade. And if they're doing a legit business, do these parents not know that they should be signing contracts for these kids? Like, what's going on?
Where the fuck are your parents?
And another big thing, he said there's no contracts, but they're with an agency. He said the Hype House has an agency.
Mind that the Hype House email is run by our agency because they negotiate deals for the Hype House as a whole.
But what I know is that you really think an agency, a real agency, wouldn't have contracts? So someone in the house has a contract with the agency. You see where I'm going here? I'm not gonna put anything out there, but I think someone should really look into that if these kids really don't have contracts. There's a lot of stuff that Daisy says, there's a lot of stuff that Thomas says. Like, they put up, I think, a lot of unnecessary detail just to make the other person look bad or weird. I feel like she was an absentee owner because, you know, she has her own brand, she does her own things, and I don't think she's really a TikToker. She's more like an Instagram model. And okay, cool. But I also do believe Thomas was micromanaging the crap out of everyone. If you see any of the interviews that the Hype House does, he sounds, you know, a little bossy. But hey, who knows? Who really knows in the end of the day?